If Freedom Failed. We'd like to take you on a visit to a town that doesn't exist, a town we call Springfield, USA. We'd like to show you how things would be in any American town if communism took over. This is the story of a man who betrayed his country because he refused to believe the truth, refused to believe even the things that he saw for himself. J. Carrol Nash stars as Thomas Custer in the story called The Traitor.
Tom, what time is it?
11:05.
Are they all in the church yet?
A few stragglers still. A couple of officers standing outside. I don't know whether they're going in or not.
Well, we'll wait until they start. Is everything set?
Yes, I know my job.
Now, take it easy.
Sorry.
It'll all be over in another few minutes. Well, they're sure giving the old general a fine funeral. That's a shame to spoil the show.
George, do you think we're doing the right thing?
Getting cold feet?
No, just doubts.
We have our orders.
I know, but...
This is the biggest thing we've done yet. All the opposition is across the street there. The army officers, the political leaders, Congressman Phillips, all of them.
And some others besides.
None of our people. We gave them all a warning to stay away.
But there are some who aren't on either side.
Now, Tom, I know that some innocent people are going to be hurt or killed when I press this plunger. You think I'd do it if I didn't believe it was right?
No, I guess not.
It has to be done. Get rid of the opposition and we take over. We'll blame the whole thing on the reactionaries, the isolationists, the fascist police. And the people will believe us. Besides, you and I know that it's for their own good. That's what makes this right.
I wanted to hear you say that, George. That's the only thing that does make this right. It's for their own good. And for the good of the whole country.
What time is it now?
11:10, they're just closing the doors.
Did those officers go inside?
Yes, there's no one around.
Well, as soon as I set off the charge, we'll go out the back way, split up, and meet back at headquarters. Our alibi is all set in case someone suspects us. Are you ready?
Ready.
Then here she goes.
I now declare the 5th session of the Central Committee of the Midwestern People's Territory of the United Soviets of America to be open. Deputy Prime Minister Comrade Costa will give the opening report.
Thank you. I should say before reading this that it covers only the last 12 months. As all of you know, in the 25 years since the bombing of the Springfield Community Church, which was really the beginning of our success, in these 25 years, we have made great strides in the communist cause. Now for the report. All non-communist political parties have been disbanded during this period, and all non-communist papers suppressed. Nicholas Peterson, the leader of the opposition in the Territorial Soviet Senate, was hanged in September. In order to further our ideals of communism for the good of the people, it is strongly urged that immediate action be taken against the remaining opposition in the church. Further, it is recommended that some measures be taken to restore Midwestern economy, which has shown a decided tendency toward disruption despite our attention. That concludes the report.
Any questions?
Was a copy of that sent to the Central Committee in Washington?
Yes, of course.
Do you think that was wise?
What do you mean, Cole?
Well, the part about the church was all right and what came before, but those last points seemed to me to be an admission that we're not doing our job. With all apologies to Coster, he's an economist. That's something he knows about. But do you think we ought to let them know about it?
He has a point there. Who do you mean by them, Cole? The Central Committee?
You know very well who I mean.
What do you say, Coster, about all this?
Gentlemen, the 7 of us here in this room now control this whole territory. We are doing what our philosophy has taught us to do. adapting that philosophy right down the line to the problems at hand. Our teachers, Marx and Lenin, have shown us.
And Stalin.
Oh, yes, of course. They have shown us the road to follow. Now we must show our fellow Americans. It is our duty.
Tom, you said the report had gone in just as you read it?
Yes?
Very well, then there's not much point in discussing that angle. Cole, have you done anything on the suppression of the religious organizations?
Yes, I have. Do you want a report?
Please.
I've drawn up several resolutions to be passed on to the Senate. And I believe that they will... Why, what's this?
Give me, gentlemen.
Who are you? What's the meaning of coming in here?
Oh, Judge Damon, I recognize you from your pictures. You do not recognize me, though, huh? The name is Borka. Alexander Borka.
Oh, Borka, of course. I read about your activities in Europe.
You have credentials, Comrade Borka?
Yes, I have them. You're wise to be cautious, Mr. Damon. Here they are. Look them over, and I'll meet the others here.
Hey, look, Tom, they're signed by the Politburo itself.
Well, you know who he is, don't you?
Yes, by reputation. I never expected to meet him.
I wonder why we had no warning.
We'll find out soon enough.
Now then, if you're satisfied that I am indeed who I say I am, we'll get to work. Please sit down, gentlemen. Now then, let me say first that I bring personal commendations from our great leader to all of you for the fine work you have done in this territory. Under your leadership and inspired by your example, thousands of party members have been educated into absolute loyalty to the party. But that is not the only reason I am here. I have a copy of your last report, Comrade Costa.
Yes?
You will prepare this?
Yes, I did.
You will explain it then, please.
Well, as we said there, all political parties and newspapers have been...
That I have read myself. You will explain only the recommendations.
We recommend that some measures be taken to assist us with our program here, with the dissolution of the church and with readjusting our economy.
Enough. Comrade Costa and the rest of you, too. Do you realize what you have done? You have made recommendations to us. Quiet. No one does such a thing. It is disgraceful. Now you leave, please, comrades, to think this over. Except you, Comrade Damon and Comrade Costa. I have some further instructions for you. It is the feeling in the Politburo that while you have made a terrible error, you are both the loved and respected leaders of the party here in this territory. Therefore, we are inclined to forgive this indiscretion for the time being. I repeat, for the time being. I'll remain here and see to it that nothing like this occurs again.
Mr. Borka.
Yes?
Tom and I have been loyal Soviet Americans for 25 years.
I know that.
We've worked for communism because we believed in it. The things that we've done, many of them on orders from your country, we did because we were told that they were right. Right for our country. These recommendations were made for the same reason.
For a communist of 25 years, you show a remarkable lack of indoctrination to our policy, Comrade Damon. In your last pretty little speech, you made two bad mistakes. First of all, your nationalist spirit is deplorable. Nationalism is the prerogative of the one and only leading power of the world, the Soviet Union. Your country is the Soviet Union. And secondly, you will receive complete guidance from the Kremlin. They will not tolerate the slightest sign of independent action or independent thinking, even among the most loyal communist leader in the Soviet satellite states. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. Borka. Quite clear.
I'm very sorry that our first meeting had to be on such difficult matters, Damon. I have respected your work and your leadership for many years. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
I'm certain we'll get along very well from now on. It's much better to clear the air this way so that we can join together in a friendly atmosphere.
Of course.
Now, would you excuse us, please, if I talk to Costa alone?
Very well. I'll wait for you.
All right, George.
Damon seems to have changed, don't you think?
How do you mean?
I remember one statement he made some years ago. He said, all communist parties form one single communist front under the direction of the Soviet Union. Now he seems to have forgotten his own words. Ah, well, no matter. Now, Costa, let's get down to work. First of all, the Politburo quite agrees with your thoughts concerning the church.
They're certainly consistent with Marx and Lenin.
You were wrong to make the recommendations, of course. But nevertheless, here are the laws to be enacted to correct this corruptive influence of religious bodies. Here you are.
A law guaranteeing the freedom of religion. Article 1. All churches, mosques, synagogues, and other religious bodies of this territory, as well as all clergy and ecclesiastic officials, are remanded under state control. 2. The state assumes power to alter or suppress all church statutes, regulations, administrative rules, and so forth. 3. The state has the power to appoint, dismiss, and remove from their posts all clergy and all church officials.
I think you have the general idea. You will submit this to the Senate and carry through after it is passed. Naturally, we'll expect a unanimous vote.
But why me?
For you? The answer should be obvious. You are now the top man in this territory. Respected, admired, loved by the working class.
Yes, but I'm only the vice premier. How about Premier Damon? Why doesn't he present this?
Comrade Damon? I believe we need to re-educate him. Too nationalistic, too unreliable. He'll leave tomorrow for Moscow. Here are your orders for the eliminating of all unions, Premier Custer. You'll put them into effect at once. It is essential that we expand the territorial police force, Comrade Custer. You will transfer half the funds of the Education Ministry to the Police Ministry. Here is a list of party members to be purged. You will see to it that they are expelled and deprived of civil rights. All equipment from the Springfield rolling mills is to be transferred to Russia. You will order it at once.
No.
What did you say?
You can't be serious about this.
I am always serious.
But half the workers of Springfield are employed at the rolling mills. The whole economy of this territory is based on its production.
I'm aware of that.
If you remove this industry, you'll throw the entire population into chaos through unemployment.
It shouldn't be necessary for me to point out, Premier Custer, that this is an order from the Kremlin.
But it's ridiculous.
Custer, watch what you're saying.
What possible reason could they have for...
It is not up to you to ask for reasons.
But I'm an economist. I know exactly what a thing like this will do to our country.
Our country is the Soviet Union. They need the machinery. Very well. They will get it. Also, as a good revolutionary, you should know that our society prospers in the middle of unemployment and chaos. If you need reasons, there they are. Now, if you'll sign this order.
No, I will not.
It seemed that I was as wrong about you as about Damon. Or had you forgotten about him?
No, I haven't forgotten how you sent George to Moscow. How he was reported to be a very sick man. So sick that he died shortly after he got there.
Exactly.
Suddenly, in the last few minutes, I've remembered a lot of things. Things I thought I had pushed out of my mind because I believed in what I was doing. I believed it was right for my country.
Your country is
Yes, of course. My country is the Soviet Union. How many times have you told me that, and I didn't pay any attention to it because, well, I thought, he's a Russian and I'm an American, but we both have the same communist ideals. He's entitled to love his country, and I have the same rights. But now, for the first time, I see that isn't true. I see how blind I've been for 25 years. Blind to everything that was going on around me.
This is treason that you're talking.
Oh, no. Don't try to tell me what treason is. I've been a traitor to my country. Yes, my country. A traitor since I first took out a Communist Party card. And for the first time in my life, let me be a patriot. Let me stand here and tell you that I know you and the bosses in the Kremlin for what you are. You don't want anything but Russian colonies. A whole world of them, ruled by Soviet marshals like you. Yes, that's right. Press your buzzer, pound the buttons in front of you, and get your police in here. You have a perfect case against me. A man willing to cry out to the world about what a Frankenstein he's created. A blind man who's suddenly been given the power to see.
Did you call us? Premier Custer is under arrest. Take him away.
The Premier?
You will hold him in isolation. I'll arrange the details later.
Yes, I'm sure you will, Comrade Walker.
Now, don't give us any trouble, Mr. Costa.
Oh, I wouldn't think of it. I know what happens to anyone who resists arrest.
Come along.
Oh, one last question, if you please. Comrade Borka, you have succeeded in eliminating me. But how long do you think you can last?
Take him away.
Justice Department, Burns speaking.
Hello, Burns. This is Alexander Borka.
Yes, Comrade Borka.
You'll prepare indictment against Premier Costa immediately, charging him
You
with...
say Premier Costa?
Yes, Costa. Can't you hear me?
Yes, sorry.
You will charging him with treason, espionage, and sabotage. Also with nationalistic tendencies and lack of friendship and sincerity towards the Soviet Union. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
I'll give you the details of trial later. How it is to be conducted and what the verdict will be. That's all.
You are listening to The Traitor, starring J. Carrol Nash. A story of the way things could be if communism took over. A picture of what life would be like under a communist regime in an ordinary American town. A town we call Springfield, USA.
That's all, guard. You may leave.
Yes, Mr. Burns.
Costa. Costa, are you awake?
Yes?
I have something here for you to sign.
It's Burns, isn't it?
That's right.
Minister of Justice?
I don't have much time.
No, I don't suppose I have much time either.
Will you sign this now?
What is it?
Your confession.
All this? This thick sheaf of papers is my confession?
Yes, that's right.
May I read it?
That won't be necessary.
No, I know it won't be necessary, but it should make interesting reading. Oh, don't worry, I'll sign it. I was questioned once before by other professional inquisitors, and that's how I got this broken, twisted back. I'll sign it.
Right here. Here's my pen.
Thank you, Burns. Tell me, when is the trial?
December 7th?
A whole week. Your timetable is working out very well. It's taking you almost 8 months to discredit me with the people.
Well...
Yes, I got news even in here. June 14th it was that I was expelled from the Communist Party for... What was it? Oh, yes. Nationalistic policies that deviated from the pro-Soviet line of the Soviet-American regime. And for refusing to admit my error of being anti-Russian, is that right?
Yes, that's right,
Oh,
but how did...
you can't keep people from spreading news, even in a Russian state. And I marked the dates down like any other prisoner, here on the wall. See that long stretch? That's July 20th, the day I was ousted from the Senate. Then there's October the 9th, when they took away my immunity, and now here. Another big mark for another red-letter day. The day I confessed in... How many words?
What?
Words there in the confession.
Oh, well, there's 30,000.
Oh, that's a nice round figure. 30,000 words of confession, and I haven't even read it.
Mr. Costa, I shouldn't say this, but I want you to know there's nothing personal in all this. It's my job.
Thank you, Burns. I understand.
I just thought if there's anything I could do.
No, there's nothing.
Well, I guess that's all then. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute, Burns.
Yes?
There is something you could do.
What is it?
They'll let you come back to my cell before I'm executed. Now, I can get some papers, some writing materials, and prepare a statement of everything that's happened. The true story of what this Soviet regime has done and what it will do to our country.
But there's nothing I could do with it. No place to publish it or spread it around.
But there will be. Later on, when the people finally come to their senses. All I want you to do now is to take what I write and hide it someplace. Hide it where Borka and his police will never find it. When the proper time comes, you'll know it. And you can bring it out then. Will you do it?
I don't know.
Now, Burns, you're not like these others. You never were a sincere communist. I knew that. I even tried to have you purged at one time.
Yes, I remember.
You've seen the same ugly things about this whole business that I didn't see until it was too late, right?
Yes, that's right.
Then say you'll do it. Not for me, not even for yourself, but for our country. It may help sometime in the future.
All right, I'll do it. I'll come back.
I declare this Soviet court now in session. Thomas Koster, you will please stand. Step forward to the bench. Thomas Koster, you're charged with treason, espionage, nationalistic tendencies, sabotage, lack of friendship and sincerity towards the Soviet Union. Now, do you plead?
Not guilty.
Quiet, please. This court is inclined to agree with the expression of the people, but in the interest of expediting this trial, we request no further exhibitions. Now, Thomas Koster, I have before me your full confession to these acts. What do you have to say to that?
They are not true.
If it please the court... Dr. Dykeman, you're the counsel for defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I should like to ask for recess.
I have never been a police agent or an imperialist spy.
Be quiet, Koster. I'll handle this. I should like to ask for recess to acquaint the defendant with the items in his confession.
The court will recess for 20 minutes.
Come along, Koster. We'll go to the judge's chambers.
Now then, what is the meaning of all that?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but the defendant...
Koster, I thought you'd been rehearsed for your part in this trial. You signed the confession?
I've lied enough. From now on, I'll tell the truth.
You tell the truth. To whom? Don't you realize that we have 50 witnesses ready to testify against you?
Your Honor, I was informed when they assigned me to this case that...
Keep out of this, Dykeman. We've got to get this thing straightened out right now. Koster, when we go back in that courtroom, I want you to plead guilty just as you were instructed.
No, I won't do it.
Very well. Dr. Dykeman.
Yes, Your Honor.
When we reconvene, I will call on you for the opening statement and you will address the court. This trial is again in session. The People's Court will hear the counsel for defense, Dr. Dykeman.
Your Honor, members of the court, I have discussed the charges with the defendant, charges of great magnitude against which there is no defense. These charges have been proved, and the defendant confessed to their truth. Now he chooses to make a mockery of this court by denying them. I have no recourse except to state that as defense counsel, I must assist the prosecution to find objective truth. I apologize for serving in Koster's behalf. In a socialist state, there is no division of duty between the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense counsel. Only if Koster repents will I ask for mercy. If he does not, I ask that the maximum penalty be exacted.
Thank you, Dr. Dykeman. Thomas Koster, do you wish to change your plea?
No, I am not guilty. I have not done the things with which I am charged. It is a pack of lies. Lies. Lies that were prepared under the shadow of a red flag 5,000 miles away. I am guilty only of being blind, only of helping a cruel machine to gain control of our hearts and minds and finally our country.
Thomas Koster, the People's Court of the United Soviets of America finds you guilty as charged. You'll be taken from this place and within 48 hours, hanged from the neck until you're dead. Case dismissed.
And so this true story ends, or will end within a few minutes. To you who read my words, I ask that you remember me. Hate me if you will. I deserve your hatred for what I did. But learn my lesson, too. Open your eyes and your minds. Fill them with the truth. For that is the one and only thing that the enemy cannot destroy.
Guard, stand outside. The committee's coming right in.
Yes, Mr. Burns.
They're right behind me, Mr. Costa. You finished?
Yes, quite. Take it.
Here. Get it out of my coat.
Thank you.
And, Comrade Costa, I've already notified the papers that you made a groveling plea for mercy in a full confession. We explained your defiant attitude in court is due to nervous agitation and the unhealthy ambition of an intellectual.
Ah, Mr. Burns, you have preceded us.
Yes, sir. I was just telling Costa.
Yes, I heard you. May I commend you on your announcement? I particularly like the part about when Costa here admitted that the sentence was just. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
And now, Comrade Costa, if you are ready.
Quite ready.
Good, good. I see that you're not going to give us the same difficulty we had in court.
I am ready.
Take him away.
Yes, sir. What?
It's a great day for me, Comrade Burns. There goes the last of the troublemakers. Now our own men. Men trained in Moscow are in the key positions. We have no more difficulties with enforcing our regulations.
Yes, sir.
It's a shame about Costa. If only he had followed orders, he might be dying for a cause instead of for nothing. He might have left something behind.
Yes, Comrade Borka. Yes, indeed. He might have left something behind.
You have just heard what happens to justice when communism gains control of a country. You have heard what happens when the rights of the individual are trampled under a communist machine. You think this could not happen? It did happen exactly as we told it. The whole story took place in Bulgaria. Thomas Koster was Traitor Kostov. He was a slave of communist ideology, but he refused to make his country a colony of Soviet Russia. Yes, this is the true story of Traitor Kostov of Bulgaria, removed from office, arrested, tried, and hanged within a period of 8 months. You've been listening to If Freedom Fails, starring J. Carrol Nash as Thomas Koster in The Traitor. Frank Richards was Borka, Stacey Harris was Burns, and Doug Young was Damon. Others in the cast were Lamont Johnson, Ralph Mooney, Bill Bissell, Marty Warren, Herb Ellis, and Frank Gerstle. Music was composed by Earl Lawrence, with musical direction by Michel Perrier. The Traitor was written for If Freedom Failed by Robert C. Vinson, produced and directed by Will Scott. Sergeant Lloyd Iyer speaking. This program has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.